Welcome to another episode of 9 to 5 Mac Weekly where got that Mac Mini M1 16GB. You know that feeling of sliding around in your socks on a slick, long wooden floor hallway? Yes, Keating, I do, but it did not end well. I'm your host, Miles Somerville, and today we're going to be talking about a few interesting reports that have come out in the past week, like Apple working on a high-end VR headset. So let's dive in, shall we? And if you're new here and enjoy what you see, feel free to subscribe to the channel for future content like this, because we definitely want you to be part of the conversation. So a report has come out from Bloomberg saying that Apple's currently in development of a high-end virtual reality headset, and it's said to be the Mac Pro of VR headsets. Some people may find this revelation strange because according to sources close to Tim Cook, and really Tim Cook himself, VR apparently isn't that big of an interest to Apple, and AR is much more where their focus lies. When taking a look at the current landscape, virtual reality is much more relevant amongst consumer electronics. A lot of people who aren't really tapped into the tech world as much probably don't fully understand the importance of AR just yet because it doesn't really exist in a consumer-ready package the same way virtual reality does. Tim Cook on multiple occasions has said that he's really into AR and the societal benefits AR technology has over VR, and I quote, "I'm excited about AR. My view is it's the next big thing and it will pervade our entire lives. I think it's something that doesn't isolate people. We can use it to enhance our discussion, not substitute it for human connection, which I've always deeply worried about in some of the other technologies." And given the way Apple designs their products, it makes plenty of sense that AR is something that they have much more interest in, especially given the multiple rumors we've heard over the past year of Apple developing a pair of AR glasses. AR is right up Apple's alley. So given all of that, why make a VR headset and an expensive Mac Pro level virtual reality headset at that? Well, the Bloomberg report states that Apple would be using this VR headset as a stepping stone to develop a much more consumer-ready AR product. The simple fact of the matter is that developing a tight AR product is really hard, especially if you're Apple, because whatever they make is going to have a sleek and streamlined design. It can't be bulky and designed with utilitarianism in mind, because that isn't really what Apple does. So providing a great AR experience in a tight package like that is going to be a difficult challenge for any company. Apple is essentially going to take this niche VR headset product and use it to get all of the customer feedback and the knowledge that they need to develop a much more ambitious augmented reality-based product. It's somewhat similar to what a lot of high-end car manufacturers do nowadays. Like Lamborghini, for example, doesn't care about making SUVs, but they're doing it because that's what the market wants right now, and it allows them to develop even crazier high-end supercars. So you could kind of think of this as the same thing, although it's not really for financial reasons like car manufacturers do, but it's really just more for research and figuring out how to make an AR product truly work. It's said that this headset will serve as a device for all-encompassing 3D digital environments for gaming, watching videos, and communicating with others. That gaming part is pretty interesting because, you know, Apple, but I guess Apple knows something that we don't. And even though this headset is said to be more expensive than Oculus's, Sony, and HTC's offerings, it's meant to compete with those brands as a standalone VR headset. Performance-wise, this device is probably going to be extremely powerful. The Bloomberg report states that Apple's been testing chips in this headset that outperform even the current M1 processors found in the new Apple Silicon Macs. And not only that, but this headset should have some sort of fan within the design. The release window is looking pretty murky right now because this product hasn't even advanced from the prototype stage just yet, but we could see this as soon as 2022 or 2023. Overall, I'm not too sure how this product is going to shape out. I'm currently not so convinced that Apple could revolutionize the VR experience in a way that's still accessible to normal people, but like the report said, this is seemingly a product that Apple wants to put out to help achieve a much greater vision. But either way, this isn't something we'll be seeing this year, so we'll just have to keep following this news as it develops. SRB says, everyone who has a heads-up display in their car can understand, especially heads-up displays with AR capabilities. So forget about a VR headset, waste of money on R&D. Take that money and make AR glasses better from the start. I mean, I'm not quite sure that's exactly how it works. I think the approach that Apple's trying to take is taking VR, a product that people are already familiar with, maybe implementing some AR features in there here and there, kind of testing out the technology, seeing how people respond to it, and then coming out with their super streamlined AR product. And I think regardless, it's going to take them some time to have an AR product that's ready to go in the style that they want it to be. But I can understand your viewpoint that Apple is investing in a product that they don't feel like has a future, at least within their company. Terrence says, putting aside the discussion about whether or not it would be appropriate for Apple to release a super expensive VR device, I'm very curious about what kind of innovations Apple would bring to this space. I mean, yes, curiosity is definitely where I'm at as far as how I'm feeling about this product overall. I have no idea what a product like this would really look like, what kind of content would be offered on a VR headset from Apple. I'm really much more interested in the AR product because I feel like it'll truly be a product that's helpful in my daily life as a consumer electronics enthusiast. But overall, a VR headset from Apple, it should be a pretty interesting product nonetheless. I think I'm mostly just worried about price. I think this is going to be a crazy expensive product that not many people get their hands on, at least not many people who can't afford something like a Mac Pro. Who Decat says, probably less about gaming and more about simulations in professional environments. And I think that makes a lot of sense as well. When you take a look at the AR experience that you're getting on devices with a LiDAR scanner like the iPad Pro and the new iPhone 12s, it really feels like that's more based on simulations and not really gaming-based applications. So this could be more of a professional or maybe even a developer-focused product from Apple. But coming up with a product like this that's sold in Apple stores and that's mainly developer-focused, that's a pretty bold move from Apple. But I think it also shows you how serious they are about making these AR products happen if they're putting this much time into VR. Nosgroth says, a standalone VR headset, eh? I was interested in the Oculus Quest 2, but Facebook happened, so I'm transferring my interest here instead. I know it'll be expensive, but don't make it too expensive, please. First time, eh? I honestly agree with that to an extent. My interest in Oculus has somewhat died since Facebook purchased them, mostly because their focus has not really been so much so on gaming. Not that I'm a huge gamer, but that's probably what would draw me towards VR more than anything at this current point. And yes, Apple usually does charge a lot for their products and usually a pretty significant premium over a lot of competing brands, but Apple usually has a somewhat decent reason for doing so, and hopefully that's still the case with these VR glasses. So we all love AirPods, right? Well, if you don't, you should probably head out because reports say that we should be getting 2 new models this year. Our guy Ming-Ching Kuo has reported on the upcoming AirPods 3 a ton and expects that these will feature a design much more like the AirPods Pro, having a true in-ear design with replaceable ear tips and shorter stems, with these earphones lacking pro features like noise cancellation and transparency mode. We haven't heard much about these having any significant improvements to the general sound quality, but then again, we are talking about AirPods, so that shouldn't come as much of a surprise. Word on the street, though, is that the AirPods 3 might come in around $199, which, I'm not really feeling that one, but if they offer these headphones in black, like it's been rumored to be, then I'm sure a lot of people will disregard the higher price point. According to Kuo and Bloomberg, these are supposed to come sometime in 2021, and my guess is that we could see these likely around or before summertime. Jumping over to the Pro side of AirPods stuff, it seems like Apple's also looking to update the design with these earphones as well. According to reports from Bloomberg, the AirPods Pro are going to feature an even more compact design, going for something much like the Pixel Buds or the Amazon Echo Buds with a completely stemless design, but that's apparently been a bit of a challenge achieving that design language while maintaining the H1 chip and noise canceling. So we could see AirPods Pro 2 featuring a much less ambitious design, and besides having a slightly smaller case for the earphones, there isn't much else we know about these at this point. But reports say that we could see the Pro 2s launch as soon as April, which is definitely good news. I love to use my AirPods, but they are not worth the money. I will not buy another pair anymore. In 3 years are nearly useless due to their poor battery life. I can still use them from time to time, but their lifespan is not much higher than the AirPods that used to be shipped with the iPhone, and those are $35. So for the price of the standard ones here, $189 or $179, I can have cable earpods for a decade. Yeah, and this is something that I've seen a lot. A lot of people rocking first generation AirPods have experienced a lot of battery life issues and just general longevity issues. I never daily drove a pair of standard AirPods, so I haven't say I've experienced that for myself, but I know a lot of people who have, and it seems like a pretty common or more or less guaranteed issue you're gonna have after some time with the original pair. But if you find yourself justifying a pair of earpods over AirPods, then that probably wasn't a product you really ever needed to begin with. I hope AirPods 3 remain ear tips free and AirPods Pro 2 are ear tip based. Different folks have different comfort experiences. I would also like to see audio quality improvements, particularly the soundstage, and spatial audio on AirPods 3. I think spatial audio is pretty much a guaranteed feature, but the improved sound quality, you might be rolling the dice with that one. I don't think something like that is guaranteed, but I definitely do agree with the different comfort experiences part, because me personally, I like my AirPods Pro much more than the design of the standard AirPods, which is why I never bought and really used a pair like that, because I just don't like the way they fit. They basically don't fit at all. I much rather prefer this design that we've got with the AirPods Pro, and I hope it sticks around. I think it will. I think a lot of people responded well to it, but at the same time, there's also a lot of people who love that OG AirPods design. So Apple may be at a bit of a crossroads here, but I guess we'll just have to see what the final design looks like. See, Aeronaut says, the AirPods flat design are the only in-ear earphones I find comfortable. I really hope they don't change the design. This is an example of someone who does not want that original AirPods design to go. Me personally, I would not be sad if it went, but I can understand that so many people have gotten used to and really like that design style for whatever reason, but I think Apple's probably going to try to keep it around in some capacity. Lastly, I want to talk about some iPhone 12 news. I know we're already moving on to iPhone 13, but Apple reportedly opted to switch to 2 million units of Q1 iPhone 12 production to go from the 12 mini to the 12 Pro. Apparently, Apple's been having a hard time meeting the sales demands of the Pro models, and the overall 12 series has been apparently selling above Apple's expectations, but the 12 mini in particular have been a little disappointing as far as sales go for the company. And this makes sense to me personally. A lot of reviewers have come out and stated how much they loved the iPhone 12 mini when it first dropped, and that it's the best iPhone out of the lineup. And it's definitely cool for what it is in my opinion, but that battery life, at least in comparison to the Pro and Pro Max, ain't it, chief? And though a lot of people don't really use all three cameras, having the triple camera system is apparently a much bigger draw to the average consumer. And so in recent weeks, I've seen quite a few people talked about how they've somewhat converted to the Pro and Pro Max over the Mini for pure usability purposes. Some people are a little worried about there not being a Mini model this year because of the lackluster sales of the 12 Mini, and I'm honestly not sure if that should be a real concern at this point. I think it's too early to tell, but we'll definitely know more in the coming months as more stuff leaks out, because it always does. But that's about it for this one. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for future content like this, because we've got much more on the way. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.